For this sequence, you need a folded blanket, a yoga strap, and possibly a couple of blocks. Lie on your back with your belt and blocks nearby and rest your head on a folded blanket. Bring the soles of your feet together, letting your knees fall to each side. If this causes discomfort in your inner thighs, I suggest placing a block or folded blanket under each leg. For this passive warm-up sequence, your goal is to minimize the sensations in large surface muscles, allowing blood to warm deep tissue. Close your eyes, relax your arms at your sides, feeling the ebb and flow of your breath resonate through your body. By placing your body in this passive pose, reclining cobbler's pose, you're setting yourself up to access deep connective tissue of the hip joints and lower spine, circulating nutrient-rich blood into core tissues. Linger here for several cycles of conscious breathing to give time for the heat of good circulation to penetrate the core and warm your body from the inside out. Let your breath, especially the out-breath, release your belly organs into the back body. Take that image and sensation further by directing your attention to the inner hips and thighs where you may feel some muscular resistance. Imagine your lungs right there, where the discomfort is, and you may actually be able to feel a slight expansion on the breath in, and a release on the breath out, dropping your thigh bones into the outer leg, leaving a sense of greater depth and even width in your hips. Though an image, this exercise is deeply effective, further nourishing connective tissue that is the source of flexibility. Using your hands if you wish, bring your knees together and with a lingering exhalation, hug your knees to your chest. Breathing in, extend your right leg to the ceiling. Breathing out, lower it to the floor and relax it. Take your belt and loop it around the bottom of your left foot, holding the belt with both hands. As you breathe in, extend your left leg toward the ceiling. As you breathe out, relax the knee, just slightly, but enough to allow the large external muscles of the upper leg to soften. Close your eyes to internalize your focus and feel the rhythm of your breathing reverberate through your body, softening the surface and awakening the core. You may not be able to feel the warmth and vitality flowing through your joints, but you'll notice it later in the form of increased flexibility and fewer injuries if you incorporate this style of warming up into your active practice. Resist the urge to straighten your legs. A good yoga practice relies on undoing as much as doing, surrender as much as effort. Hold your belt in your left hand, placing your right arm on the floor at shoulder height, palm up. Press the right hip into the floor as you inhale and lower your leg halfway to the floor. It takes time for the blood to nourish your joints. So linger here, breathing in and out gently. On your next inhalation, bring your leg back up and breathing out. Bend your right knee, placing the foot on the floor. Slip the belt off your left foot and bend your left knee, resting your left foot on the right knee. Each of these movements works a different area of the hips, resulting in increased flexibility over time. Again, linger. dropping your left knee toward the floor, allowing the deep flow to do its work. Breathing in, uncross your legs, and breathing out, hug your knees to your chest. Exhale. Extend the left leg up, and breathing out, lower the leg to the floor and relax it. Loop the belt around your right foot, holding the belt with both hands. With the left leg relaxed, breathe in and extend your right leg. Breathing out, backing off until your knee is just slightly less than straight, so that you are close to the edge of your range of motion, but not quite there. Close your eyes and direct your attention to your right hip. Imagine you're breathing in your hip, as though your lungs are there. The value of this deep muscle warmer comes in taking your time and keeping the surface as soft as possible. Hold your belt with your right hand, placing your left arm on the floor at shoulder height. Breathe in, swing your leg to the right, and breathing out, lower it halfway to the floor, no further than you can take it without your left hip lifting even slightly off the ground. Also, if you cannot steady your breath, raise your legs slightly. Coordinating a steady breath and movement is essential. Breathe in as you bend your left knee, foot to floor. Slip the belt off your foot and breathing out, bend your right knee, resting the foot on the top of the left knee. Though this exercise is passive, it's mindful. Breathe in as you uncross your legs and breathing out, hug your knees to your chest. Finish your out breath. If you've been using blocks, move them out of your way. Bring your arms to the floor at shoulder height, palms up. Breathe in, rolling to the right. Let your knees and feet fall to the floor, bringing your left arm across your chest, resting it on your right arm. Feel how nice and wide your back body is. Lower back ribs expand and release like gills. Keep your back and shoulder blades wide as you breathe in, extending your left arm to the ceiling. As you breathe out, lower it back down again. Coordinate breath and movement. Following the rhythm of your breath, inhale as you raise your left arm. This time, as you breathe out, follow the hand with your gaze. Reach out to the left until your arm is halfway to the floor. Breathe into your back ribs and keep your shoulder blades wide. Reach strongly to the left. Breathe in, raise the arm, and breathing out, bring it all the way over to the right arm again. When you're ready, breathing in, listen to the breath, raise the arm. As you breathe out, reach to the left again, following the hand with your eyes. Stop when your hand is halfway to the floor. On your next breath out, pull your left side ribs and shoulder blade toward the floor to lower your shoulder and warm your upper back muscles. Steady breathing. Now, as you breathe in, roll onto your back, and breathing out, hug your knees in. Notice how the pressure of your thighs on your abdomen increases the volume of the out-breath. Other side. Inhale, roll to the left. Exhaling, your legs and feet fall to the floor, and bring your right arm up and all the way over to your left arm or hand. Just relax. Each out breath coaxes the belly organs to sink into the back body. Keeping the shoulder blades wide, breathe in, raising your arm toward the ceiling. Breathing out, lower it back down. Continue to coordinate breath and movement as at your own pace you breathe in and raise your right arm, timing movement to breath. As you exhale, follow the hand with your gaze, reaching strongly to the right and bringing your arm halfway to the floor. Breathe in as you bring your arm up. Breathe out, lower it to the left arm again. It's fine to take a breath or two before continuing. When you're ready, one more time. Inhale, raise the arm, follow the hand with your gaze. Breathe out, reach to the right until your arm is again halfway to the floor. If you're able to press the right shoulder and side ribs down, lower your arm as well. Continue to let the belly organs fall toward the spine. That's a release, not a sucking in of the stomach. Now inhale, roll onto your back. Roll all the way to your right and sit up in a simple crossed-legged position. Sun salutations are an intrinsic part of any flow or vinyasa style yoga practice. However, many beginners are frustrated by their difficulty. This is a highly modified version of sun salutation that you can try if you find the other sun salutations on this DVD to be too strenuous at this time. For this variation, you need a chair. Place your chair on your yoga mat so that it won't slide. I'll give you a moment to set that up. Stand 6 to 8 inches in front of the chair, facing it. Look down and position your feet hip-width apart, with the outer feet parallel with one another. Join your palms at your chest in Namaste or prayer position. Opening the core of your chest towards your hands, pause for a moment to tune into your breathing. Mouth is closed. Breath is rhythmic and steady, represented by an ocean sound gently flowing from the base of your throat. Now, breathing in, extend your arms overhead, hands shoulder-width apart. And breathing out, hinge from the hips as you bend forward, holding the sides of your chair's seat. Remember to coordinate movement with breath as you inhale and open your chest. Breathing out, bend your elbows, curl over, and rest your head on the chair. Bend your knees if your lower back or the backs of your legs are too uncomfortable. This is standing forward bend. Breathe steadily and relax. Bend your knees and breathing in, straighten your elbows, lifting your chest. And breathing out, step your right foot back a couple of feet into a lunge. Your front foot should be flat on the floor. Anchoring your feet and expanding your chest, breathe in and sweep your side ribs forward and up between your arms to create a gentle back bend, a variation of upward-facing dog pose. Breathe steadily and gaze forward. Breathe in, stepping your left foot beside the right. Position your feet hip-width apart, heels on the floor. If you feel too far away from the chair, just step forward to a comfortable position. Now, elbows straight. Inhale, press the chair. Exhale, pushing your hips back over your heels, positioning your head between your arms and stretching your body long. Breathe steadily. Exhalation as long as inhalation. Mouth closed. Now breathe in, stepping your right foot forward 6 to 8 inches from the chair, and breathe out into a lunge. Breathe in, open your chest, and move your ribs toward the back of the chair into upward-facing dog pose. Step your left foot forward beside the right. Again, feet parallel and hip-width apart. Inhale, bend your elbows. Exhale, curl over to rest your head on the chair, bending your knees if you wish. Breathe in, straighten your elbows, lifting your chest, and extend your arms overhead, standing upright. Exhale, bring your palms together at your chest in prayer position. Mountain pose. Check your alignment. Notice your breathing. We'll repeat it. Breathe in, raise your arms overhead. Breathing out, fold from the hips. Hold the sides of your chair. Bend your elbows and rest your head. Relaxed breathing. Now straighten your elbows again as you breathe in to expand your chest, letting your heart radiate forward. Bend your knees deeply. On your next breath in, step your left foot back, bending the right knee to a lunge, foot flat on the floor. Inhale, open your chest, sweeping your chest forward and up. And make sure that you exhale completely after that movement. Step your right foot beside your left. Bend your knees deeply and press the chair, pushing the hips back over the feet with your knees bent. If this seems easy, straighten your knees, keeping your back flat. And even in this flat back position, the chest radiates toward the chair. This is a variation of downward facing dog pose. Now bend your knees and on a breath in, step your left foot forward, exhale into the lunge. Breathing in, open the chest. Exhale, bring it forward and up to a little back bend, upward dog pose. Step forward, placing your feet parallel and hip-width apart again, 6 to 8 inches in front of the chair. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathing out, bend your elbows, curl over to rest your head on the chair. Re-straighten your elbows, opening your heart forward. Breathe in, sweep the arms forward, standing upright. Breathe out, bringing the palms together in Namaste. Last time, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bend forward, hold the chair, and relax into your hanging forward bend, head resting on the chair, knees bent if necessary. Relaxed breathing. Breathe in, straighten your elbows, spread your chest wide, open it from your core. Now bend your knees, and as you inhale, step your right foot back, exhaling into the lunge. Breathe in, sweep your chest forward and up, and breathing out, roll your shoulders away from your ears to refine the back bend. Make space for exhalation. Bend your knees and push your hands into the chair as you step your left foot back beside the right, and with deeply bent knees, send your hips back over your heels, head between the arms, long, soft neck, shoulder blades towards the hips. Keep your back flat, straighten your knees if possible, and keep your breath steady. Bend your knees as you inhale and step your right foot forward, exhale into the lunge. Breathing in, sweep the chest forward and up. Breathing out, roll your shoulders away from your ears. Step forward with your left foot, aligning your feet as before. Relax the elbows and with a nice, gentle out-breath, relax into standing forward bend. Inhale, straighten your elbows and lift your chest. Sweep your arms forward and stand upright in mountain pose. Bring your hands together at the chest. For this standing asana flow, you may need a block. Stand in mountain pose at the end of your mat. Take a block and step your feet wide, placing the block behind your right foot. Extend your arms to shoulder height, outer feet parallel. Ideally, your ankles are in line with your wrists, but shorten your stance if you can't straighten your knees or they hurt. Now hold your hips and focus on your breathing. Mouth closed. Listen for the distinctive ocean sound of your breath in the base of the throat that will calm and steady you as you move through this vinyasa or flow practice. Now pivot your right heel, turning your right leg out and planting the foot on the floor with toes and kneecap facing the end of the mat. Turn your left leg and hips slightly to the right, anchoring your outer left foot to the mat. Straighten your knees and open your chest. Breathe in, move your right hip away from the waist, tipping your torso over your right leg. Keeping your back leg straight, exhale, bending your right knee over your ankle. Rest your right forearm on top of the knee with straight fingers. Ideally, you have a right angle bend in the leg. You can adjust your stance to facilitate that. Breathe in, grounding your outer back foot firmly as you lift your chest. Breathe out, gently tuck your tail and pull your left side ribs back, gazing straight ahead. Reach to the ceiling with your left arm. Side angle pose. Steady breathing, balancing exhalations with inhalations. Hold your left hip, turn toward the floor, and putting your block by your outer right foot, place your hand on the block. Breathe in, push your right hip to the left, and straighten the right knee. Breathe out into triangle pose. If you can't straighten your knee, make your block taller. With your torso over your right leg, breathe in, ground your feet, and lift your chest. Breathe out, pull your left ribs back, gazing straight ahead, and extend your left arm up, palm forward. Hold your block as you inhale and stand. Pivot on your left heel, turning your foot to the left. The right leg and hips turn slightly in. Place your block to the outside of the left foot, then stand and hold your hips. Straight knees, open chest. Breathe in as you slide your outer left hip away from the waist to tip your torso over your left knee. Breathe out, bend your left knee 90 degrees, knee over ankle, forearm on knee with fingers straight. Adjust your stance if necessary. Keeping your back leg straight and outer back foot grounded, inhale, raising your chest. Exhale, pull your right ribs back and gently tuck your tail. Extend your right arm up and gaze straight forward. Side angle pose. Breathe in, your body expands. Breathe out, refine technique. Ribs back, outer back foot grounded. Every movement following breath. Hold your right hip as you turn toward the floor, placing your left hand on the block. Breathe in, pushing the outer left hip away from the waist to straighten your left knee, and breathing out, pull your right ribs back, gently tucking your tailbone and staring straight ahead. Extend your right arm to the ceiling. Triangle pose. Release the block as you inhale and stand up. Lower your arms as you breathe out and step your feet hip-width apart. Rest your hands in the crooks of your elbows. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, standing forward bend. Bend your knees if your lower back hurts. Use this resting pose to slow your breath down, restoring a steady, patient rhythm. Breathe in as you roll back up to stand in mountain pose. Step your feet wide again, arms at shoulder height, and check your alignment. Outer feet parallel, ankles below wrists. Hold your hips. Pivot the right heel, turning your leg to the right. Turn the left leg in slightly. And using your hands, rotate your hips to the right so that navel, kneecap, and toes all face the end of the mat. Keep your back legs straight and strongly root the outer back foot. Now bring your hands to your ribs. Inhale, open the chest toward the chin, and exhaling, push your side ribs slightly forward, squeezing your elbows in. Breathe in, lift the chest. Breathe out, bend your knee. Knee over ankle, 90 degrees. Back knee is straight, foot grounded. Warrior pose 1. Steady breathing, paying attention to your out-breaths. Keep them strong. Keep your knee bent and breathe in. Turn your torso to the left, turning the left thigh out and sweeping your arms wide so your hands are over your feet at shoulder height. Warrior pose 2. Check the alignment of your right leg, knee over ankle, knee facing in the same direction as the toes, and left hip level with the right. Gaze straight forward. Inhale, straighten your right knee, hold your hips, and turn to the left. Left leg turns out, right leg in, and revolve your hips completely to the left. Navel, kneecap, toes facing the end of the mat. Back leg is straight, outer back foot grounded. Hold your side ribs and breathe in, opening and lifting the chest toward the chin. Breathe out. Push your side ribs forward an inch or two, especially the right side, and squeeze your elbows. Inhale, bend your left knee 90 degrees. Glance down to check your alignment. Knee over ankle, navel, knee, toes face the end of the mat. Plant your outer back foot. Warrior 1. Inhale, turning fully to the right. Turn your right thigh out and sweep your arms to shoulder height over the feet. Warrior pose 2. Check your alignment. Make adjustments. Hips level, gentle tuck, open heart, gaze straight ahead, smooth, confident out-breaths. Inhale, straighten your left knee. Exhale, lower your arms and step to mountain pose. Hands in the crooks of the elbows, breathe in, round over. Breathing out, relaxing to standing forward bend, bending your knees if your back hurts. Slow down your breathing. Your heart is inverted, which is also restful to the body. This passive pose helps to maintain a calm, steady core. Just rest. Breathe gently. True power comes by learning to balance effort and surrender. Inhale, roll up to mountain pose. Exhale, step the feet wide. Outer feet parallel. Lace your fingers together behind your back with your palms facing each other. Keeping your elbows slightly bent, inhale and lift the chest, pulling your arms back and up behind you. Keep your head upright. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips and down, bringing your arms over your back toward the floor. Expanded leg forward bend. Don't try to put your head on the floor, just hang. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in, lift your chest, looking forward and stand up. Exhale, take your block and put it in front of your right foot. Pivot your right leg out, left leg in, and line your heels up with each other, rooting your outer back heel. Hold your hips and rotate them so the navel, kneecap, and toes all face the end of the mat. Make sure your back heel stays down. Breathe in, pull your right hip back. Breathe out, hinging from your hips, elongate your torso over your right leg. Place your block by your inside foot, left hand on the block, making it taller if necessary. Pause here, calm your breathing. Flat back, outer back foot grounded, right big toe too. Breathe in, press down with the left hand and lift the chest, gazing at the floor. Breathe out, pull your right ribs up and back to turn your torso to the right. Steady breathing. Feet are grounded. Revolve triangle pose. Hold your block as you inhale and stand, turning your feet to the left. Heels line up with each other and turn your hips so navel, knee, and toes face the end of the mat. Place the block by your inner left foot, then stand and hold your hips. Breathing in, pull your left hip back, anchoring your outer back foot and left big toe. Breathing out, extend your torso over your left leg, placing your right hand on top of the block. Steady your stance. Inhale, press down with the right arm to lift the chest, gazing at the floor. Exhale, pulling your left ribs up and back to bring your left shoulder above the right. Remember, back heel anchored. Revolve triangle pose. Now, bend your left knee as you breathe in. Move your block away and place your hands on the floor, shoulder width apart. Step to downward facing dog pose. Come up onto the balls of your feet and deeply bend the knees. Inhale, spread your fingers and firmly root your hands, pressing the hands into the floor. Push your hips back over your feet, positioning your head between your upper arms. Continue pushing your hips back. Exhale, stretching the heels toward the floor. Straighten your knees as much as you can without losing the backward direction of the stretch. Slow, steady, ocean sound. Out breath equal to in breath. Keep stretching. Breathe in, come down to your knees. Swing your feet to one side and sit behind them, bringing your legs to simple cross-legged position. Lie face down on your mat, extending your right arm out in front of you, and roll onto your right side, placing your left hand on the floor in front of your chest. Bend your elbow, resting your head on your hand, and look down the length of your body, lining yourself up as though on a fence rail, a straight line from right elbow to ankle. Once you've checked your alignment, bring your head back onto the same line as the rest of your body. Steady your breathing. Flex your toes, pressing the inner big toe joints together, and lengthen your tailbone away from your waist, curling it slightly forward toward the front hips, while at the same time drawing your uppermost inner thigh slightly back into the space behind you. These two movements basically cancel each other out, but it stabilizes your hips, and you may feel the action engaging muscles deep in your abdomen. This inner firmness stabilizes your lower back as well, allowing you to now bring your left arm alongside your body, extending your fingers toward your feet. This delicate balance, Vishnu's couch, can disturb your breathing, making it tentative, nervous. Steady yourself. with the gentle balance of the tailbone and inner thighs coming together as though pulled together by magnets, as well as a steady out-breath. Slide your right arm behind your head, turning your head to the left, gazing at your hand. Correct your position if you've rolled back onto your buttocks. The balance in this pose is on the round bone of your outer hip. Again, stabilize your pose with your exhalation. Breathe in as you release and rolling to the other side. Stretch your left arm forward. Bend the elbow, resting your head on your hand. Look down the length of your body, lining yourself up as though on a fence rail, straight line from elbow to ankle. Keep your right hand on the floor until you establish your balance, and make this as delicate a balance as possible. Again, lengthen the tailbone away from the waist, curling it gently forward. Inner thighs gently back, forming a firm base that stabilizes your hips and lower spine. Bring your right arm alongside your body, extending your fingers toward your feet. Again, notice how instability makes your breathing nervous. Find your inner calm with a steady out-breath. Slide your hand behind your head, turning your head to the right and gazing at your fingers. Don't try to make this pose easy. Learn to balance as though on a tightrope. Inhale, turn toward the floor, placing your hands palms down by your ribs, and turn your toes under. Bring your elbows in, and again, strong action, tailbone away from the waist, curling forward, inner thighs back to stabilize your core, this time flattening the back. Curl your collarbones up. Check, flat back. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, push strongly down with your hands and feet, pushing your elbows forward, straightening your arms, and lifting your torso straight and solid as a stick to plank pose. Steady breathing. Push to downward facing dog pose. Come back to plank pose. Turning your right leg in, press your outer right foot into the floor and try to root the big toe joint as well. Come forward until your shoulder is almost over your wrist, so your arm is angled slightly forward. Bring your left hand to your hip, and for the moment, keep your left toes on the floor. Adjust the distance between your hand and foot so that your hips are no higher than your shoulders. In fact, as you now inhale and press down with your right hand, you'll lift your chest higher than your hips. Again, press down with your right hand and big toe, chest lifts, tailbone forward, inner thighs back, stable spine. Extend your left arm up to the ceiling, palm forward, gazing straight ahead. Steady your breathing. Feel your core support. Now bring your left leg alongside your right. Steady breathing. Turning your head slowly, gaze at your left hand. Concentrate. Come smoothly out of your pose. Inhale, release. Exhale to plank pose, turning to the left. Press the outer left foot into the floor and try to ground the big toe joint. Keeping your right foot on the floor for the moment, right hand on your hip, measure your stance. enough distance between your hand and foot that your chest will be higher than your hips. Inhale, press strongly down with your hand, lift your chest. Exhale, tailbone forward, inner thighs back. Strongly ground your left arm and foot, extending your right arm to the ceiling, gazing straight ahead. Now bring your right leg alongside your left. Stable back. Inhale, begin to turn your head, gazing up at your hand. Concentrate. Inhale, release, exhale, back to plank pose. Come down to your knees, swing your feet to the side, and lie down on your back with your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Join your hands behind your head, widen your shoulder blades, and bring your elbows to the floor. Press your head ever so slightly against your hands. Don't overdo it. You don't want to compress your neck or have your chin jut up. Imagine for a moment lines of movement running from your side ribs, down, crossing at your navel, and anchoring deep in the inner hips. Pinning both your sit bones and lower back to the floor. Keeping your upper body in its fixed position, head in hands, shoulder blades and elbows wide, head pressed gently back. Inhale, lift the chest to pull your upper body off the floor. Exhale, pull your navel to your spine, and as though someone is pulling your side ribs, rise a little higher. Release, coming all the way to the floor, and relax for a moment. Again, head in hands, shoulder blades and elbows wide. Feel as though strings are attached to your side ribs. Inhale, chest rises, pulling you off the floor. Exhale, side ribs pull you up, navel pressing into the backbone. Don't use your arms. Can you pull one more set of ribs off the floor using your side ribs? Down you come to rest. Now turn onto your side and sit up. Place your feet on the floor about hip-width apart in front of you and hold the backs of your knees. Lengthen your spine from the pelvic floor to the crown of the head. Move your front hips away from your navel to pull your lower back toward the front body. Shifting your weight back as little as possible, take your feet off the floor. Rolling your front hip bones down to the floor, raise your feet to the level of your knees, pushing your navel towards your legs. A surge of energy like a laser from the pelvic floor to the heart. Inhale, straighten your knees as much as you can. Exhale, push the navel towards the legs. If you lose this core lift, bend your knees again slightly. Now breathe in and slowly let go of your knees. Exhale, extend your arms straight forward, palms face each other. One good breath. Breathe in, chest open and lifting. Breathe out, navel pushing towards the legs. Bend your knees, feet to the floor. Join your hands behind your head, elbows wide, and gently round your back. Navel hugging the backbone. Heart open, elbows wide. Slowly lower yourself, breath by breath. Breathe in, you pause. Breathe out, your navel pushes you a little lower until your shoulders are as close to knee level as possible. From that position, inhale, raise your feet to knee level. Exhale, straighten your feet to eye level. Steady breathing, one strong breath. Inhale, feet to the floor. Exhale, navel to legs. Release your arms and swing your feet to the side, coming up to a simple squat. Place your feet hip-width apart. Arms between your legs, palms down. Come up onto the balls of your toes, hips resting on the heels if possible. Bring your arms between your legs, palms down on the floor. Now breathe in, pulling your inner thighs up to the side ribs and your knees to your shoulders. Breathe out, suck your navel into your backbone, rounding your back and raising your hips to knee level. Once again, inhale, pulling your inner thighs to your side ribs and knees to shoulders. Exhale, suck your navel to your spine, rounding your back, hips at knee level, no higher. Come down to rest, knees on the floor, or even child pose. Let's do that again. Come up onto the balls of your toes, arms between your legs, palms down. Breathe in, pull your inner thighs to your ribs, knees to shoulders. Stare at the floor. Breathe out, suck your navel to your backbone, rounding your back and raising your hips to the level of the knees, no higher. Breathe in, inner thighs up, raise your arms to shoulder height, extending them forward. Breathe out, suck the navel into your backbone, rounding your back. Release, knees to the floor or child pose. Onto your toes again, arms between your legs. Drop your shoulders, bringing one upper arm and then the other under your upper shins. Place your hands mat-width apart, elbows no wider than your hands, and press your arms into the shins to lift your chest and shoulders up again. Don't lean over, and again, breathe in, pull your inner thighs to your side ribs. Breathe out, suck your navel to your spine, rounding your back and raising your hips to knee level. Don't lean over. Keep your chest lifting, gaze forward. Breathe in, push off from your feet and push your elbows forward, scooping your chest up, bringing it forward. Exhale, navel to backbone. Breathe in, straightening your elbows. They're over your fingers now as your navel sucks into your back. Now pull your feet up into your hips. You're in asana, crane pose. Elbows straight, chest forward and up, steady breathing. Breathe in, bend your elbows, feet back on the floor. Rest on your knees and come to child pose. Lie face down on your mat. You can unfold a blanket under you for extra padding if you need it. Rest your forehead on your hands and separate your feet mat-width apart with your toes facing the end of the mat. Crocodile pose. Feel your breath move your lower back ribs, expanding them while breathing in. Ribs relax when breathing out. They move like gills. Expanding, relaxing, making you aware of this part of your back. Keep that rhythm going as with a breath out, you lengthen your spine from ribs to tail and gently curl your tailbone toward the floor. Don't overdo this movement. You don't want your thighs to press down, only your tailbone. As you do this, you may feel your abdomen pull slightly away from the floor. This generates important abdominal support that your lower back needs in back bends. Also, placing your feet slightly wider than hip width gives your sacral joints more space and works deep into inner hip muscles. Now lift your hips slightly and roll your thighs in toward each other. Keeping your inner thighs lifting, once again press the tailbone down as you bring your hips to the floor. Forehead on hands. Breathe in, raising your right leg, knee straight, off the floor. Locust pose. Lift from the upper inner thigh and keep breathing. Inhale, lower that leg down. Other side. Breathe in, raise the left leg. Exhale, elongate the left leg, pushing the ball of the foot into the space behind you. Continue to root your tailbone. Lower that leg down and rest for a moment. As you rest, continue to breathe consciously. You may find that breathing while back bending is the most challenging of all the sequences you've practiced. However, the importance of steady breathing, keeping your breath out equal to your breath in, and breathing with your mouth closed can't be underestimated. Back bends are stimulating to the spine and nervous system. They invigorate the body. Holding your breath can agitate your nerves, and that's not a good thing. Keep your right hand under your forehead. Stretch your left arm straight forward, just slightly wider than shoulder width, palm down. Inhale and once again raise your right leg, leading with the inner thigh, keeping the knee straight and the tailbone pressed down. Breathe in again, curling your chest off the floor, raising your left arm and extending it forward. Each breath in, lift the chest and inner right leg. Each breath out, extend the arm and leg away from each other. Long neck, shoulders away from the ears. Another version of locust pose. Inhale and release. Hands under forehead. Steady your breathing. Extend your right arm forward, palm down. Breathe in, raise the left leg, lead with the inner thigh, knee straight. Breathe in again, curl your chest up, raise the arm, inner arm lifting, and extend the arm. Each breath in, the chest and inner leg lift. Each breath out, extend the arm and leg away from each other. Long neck, steady breathing, release. As you rest, stay tuned in to the inner flow of the breath, in and out, massaging your body, keeping you calm to your core. One more variation of locust pose. With your forehead resting on the floor, bring your arms to your sides, palms up. With as much effort as you use to raise your legs, now root your feet firmly to the mat, knees straight, inner thighs lifting, tailbone pressed down. Inhale, raise your arms several inches from the floor, palms up, and as though someone is pulling your arms toward your feet, exhale, extending the arms toward the feet, pulling your upper body off the floor. Neck stays long, gaze at the mat, roll your collarbones higher and higher. Each breath in, the chest opens and lifts. Each breath out, pull your lower abdomen in and up to rise even higher. Come back down, relax to the floor, and rest for a moment. As always, during rests between back bends, you focus on your breathing, slowing it down, giving space to the out-breath. Let's do it again. Forehead on the floor, feet wider than hips. Ground the feet, straight knees. Tuck your tail. Breathe in, raise the arms, palms up. Breathe out, extend your arms towards your feet, rolling your collarbones up. Breathe in, arms reaching towards the feet, feet pressed down. Breathe out, pull your lower abdomen back and up to find core lumbar support as well as lift. Use each breath in to expand and lift the chest. Each breath out, pull your lower abdomen back and up for support and lift. Release. Back to the floor, steady breathing. Slow it down. Focus on long out breaths. Steady exhales keep your nerves steady. Place your palms on the floor under your shoulders, fingers facing forward, and gently squeeze your elbows in. Cobra pose. As in the previous asana, root your feet and tailbone. Now, as you breathe in, expand and lift your chest. Exhale, press your hands down, letting that push lift your collarbones up and back slightly. Come back down again. Build Cobra pose in waves of movement. Again, root the feet and tailbone, elbows in. Breathe in, expand and lift your chest. Breathing out, press your hands down, rolling your collarbones up and shoulders back. Float back down. Steady breathing. A little higher this time. Inhale, root the feet, the tail, and expand, lifting the chest. It's like a balloon, collarbones up. Breathe out. Press the hands down, pulling your abdomen toward your lower back and pushing your shoulders toward your feet. Your elbows are getting straighter. Steady breathing. Release back down. Inhale, root the feet, the tail, expand and lift the balloon of the chest. Exhale, push your hands into the floor and roll your collarbones back, allowing that movement to pull your elbows straighter and straighter. Tail tucks, lower belly in and up, shoulders toward the feet, gazing forward and down. Now, curl your toes under and breathe in. Imagine someone is pulling your chest forward as though your breastbone is on a leash. Let it be pulled forward. As you push forward from your toes, elbows forward and straight, roll over your toes into upward-facing dog pose. Press down with your hands and feet. Gaze forward, chest to chin with each breath in. Steady your breathing. Release and rest, face down for a moment. Steady your breathing. Notice how the back bend has influenced your breath. Of course, your breath will be stronger, perhaps faster, a reflection of the vigorous nature of back bends, but it's still steady. Steadiness is evidence of calmness in your core. And wait before repeating your back bend until you can breathe steadily without effort. Breath out equal to the breath in. Let's repeat that sequence from Cobra to upward-facing dog pose once more. This time, focus on making each out-breath count. It's complete and equal to the previous breath in. Palms on the floor under your shoulders, elbows in. Feet mat width apart. Root your feet, tailbone and hands. Breathe in, expand and lift your chest. Breathe out, push down with your hands, rolling your collarbones up and your shoulders towards your heels. Shoulders away from your ears as well, so the neck is long. You gaze forward. Pulling your lower abdomen back and up toward the heart lifts you even further into your back bend. Press down with your hands to move your shoulders toward your feet, straightening your elbows as much as possible. Turn your toes under, and again, as though your sternum is on a string, inhale, feel the breastbone pulled forward as you push off from your feet, elbows forward, straighten your arms and roll over your toes, upward facing dog pose. Shoulders towards the feet, heart on a leash. Press the feet down, lifting the inner thighs, tailbone forward. Strong, steady breath. Come down to the knees and push up and back, resting in child pose, hips on heels, head on the floor or folded arms. Slow your breathing down. Separate your knees now a little wider than your ribs and stretch your arms forward, head still down. Press your hips towards your heels. Breathe. Sit with a blanket folded under your hips and your legs crossed, right leg in front of the left, feet under the knees, hold the knees. Easy pose, Sukhasana. Sit upright, spine straight but not rigid. Let your spine be fluid like a vine growing up from the earth, tall and fluid. Be aware of the space above your head. Breathing comfortably, mouth closed, the breath a gentle rhythm massaging your body from the inside out. Left hand holds right knee. Place your right hand on the floor behind you for a simple twist. If your back is prone to problems, I suggest you take your twist no further than this. Otherwise, deepen your twist by breathing in, pressing your hands down, the chest lifts. Breathe out, pull your right ribs back. Steady breathing. Breathe in as you release. Change your cross legs so the left leg is in front, feet under the knees. Left hand holds right knee. Right hand on the floor behind you. Let the breath massage your back muscles. Breathe in, press down with the hands, chest lifts. Breathe out, pull your left ribs back. Steady breathing. Relax your shoulders. Collarbones wide. Inhaling, face forward. Exhaling, bring the soles of your feet together about 18 inches ahead of your hips and let your knees fall open. If your knees hurt, support them with blocks or blankets. Press the soles of your feet together and hold your legs sitting upright. Cobbler's pose. Again, the spine is fluid and long. The original yogis symbolized the spine as a snake, and you can almost feel that snaky movement from tail to head. Bending forward from the hips, hold your ankles or place your palms on the floor by your feet, and ever so slightly round your back. Your head is higher than your shoulders, your neck is long, the core of the chest open. Close your eyes and breathe steadily. Time in the pose and consistent practice will gradually restore flexibility to your hips. Breathe in as you sit up And breathing out, straighten your right leg on the floor in front of you, centering the weight on the back of the heel. Place your left foot flat on the floor, pulling your heel as close to the left hip as possible. Place your right hand beside the knee on the floor. Breathe in, reach forward with your left hand to hold the inside of your right foot. Loop a belt around your foot if you cannot reach. Lift your chest. Each breath in, open and expand your chest. Each breath out, pull your left side ribs toward your foot. This is a very small movement, but powerful. Breathe in, the chest lifts. Breathe out, pull your left side ribs toward your foot. Marichi's pose 1, named for an ancient Indian wise man. Breathe in as you release. Breathe out, straighten your left leg. Right foot on the floor, pull your right heel as close to your right hip as possible. Left hand beside you on the floor. Breathe in, reach forward with the right hand to hold the inner left foot, or loop a belt around your foot. Breathe in again, chest expands. Breathe out, pull your right side ribs toward your foot. Head up, shoulders away from the ears. Continue to breathe steadily. This pose works deep into the inner hip and groin area. Breathe in as you release, and breathing out, stretch your legs wide for seated angle pose. Place your hands behind you on the floor and press them down to push your navel forward, growing tall through your spine. You may need to keep your hands behind you on the floor for some time. I'm talking about months or years here. But if you're sitting upright with ease, place your hands on the floor in front of you. Keep your spine long, continuing to pour your navel toward the floor. If you're very flexible, be careful not to overarch your back. Check your back with your hand. It's flat, neither rounded so backbones protrude, nor overarched so that a ridge runs down the middle of your spine. Close your eyes and breathe steadily. Keep your weight centered on your heels and roll your outer hips toward the floor. Imagine you can breathe right where you feel tension in your inner thighs. Sense your inner thighs expand as you breathe in. Relax as you breathe out. Progress in seated angle pose comes very slowly. However, if you can go further, step your hands forward. Keep your spine long and your chest open. Walk your hands toward your hips again, using your hands if necessary to bend your knees, and bring your feet hip-width apart in front of you, straight legs, for staff pose. Place your hands behind you on the floor. Press down to lengthen your spine and push your navel toward your toes. Upright chest. Now reach forward, holding either a belt looped around your feet, your ankles, or your outer feet. Whichever grip allows you to keep your chest open and your collarbones lifted with a flat back. Steady breathing. Keep your weight centered on the back of each heel and gently flex your toes. And continue with each breath in to open and lift your chest. With each breath out, Push your navel toward your toes. Steady breathing. Stretch of the West pose. Inhale and sit upright again. Exhale, swing your feet to your left side, resting the top of your left foot on the bottom of the right, and the back of your left hand against the right knee. Right hand behind you on the floor, in line with your knee. Your knees are hip-width apart and on the floor. This is a twist named after the father of a famous Indian warrior. This is Bharadvaja's pose. Steady breathing. Inhaling, the heart of the chest opens, collarbones widen. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Each breath out, roll your outer left hip toward the floor, pressing the back of your left hand against your knee. Breathe in and release, and swing your legs around to the right. Top of the right foot rests on the bottom of the left. Knee is hip-width apart, knees on the floor. Back of the right hand against the left knee, left hand behind you in line with the knee. Inhale, open and lift the chest, wide collarbones. Exhale, roll your outer lip down, pressing the right hand against the knee. Twists squeeze your organs and nourish soft tissue of the spine, cleansing them by pumping nutrients into soft tissue and flushing out toxins. It's very important not to force a twist. Breathe in and press your hands into the floor, coming up to all fours, and move your props aside. Bring your heels together and sit on your heels in thunderbolt or diamond pose. If you can't sit on your heels, put a block under your hips. Sit upright and join your palms together at your chest, prayer position. Relaxation pose. Relaxation pose. Lie on your back with your legs outstretched and relaxed. With your legs outstretched, your arms relaxed. 6 to 8 inches away from the sides of your body, palms up, and your head on the floor or a folded blanket about 6 inches away from your side body. If your lower back is uncomfortable, roll up a blanket underneath your knees. If you wish to place a folded blanket under your head to relax the neck, now close your eyes. That's fine. And close your eyes. And turn your attention once more to your breathing. Relax your breathing. Now feeling your breath, and let your body a gentle fall inner rhythm. The floor. It's soothing, like rain on the roof. Your muscles may hold on to tension, coaxing your body that resists such a free-falling feeling. Feel your whole body sink into the floor. You can practice letting go of tension in this way. Imagine that you're lying on the beach, now flex and tighten your feet, holding that for a couple of breaths. And the heaviest parts of you, now let them go. Sink, leaving deep impressions, that sensation of like footprints. Letting go. Do that again. The back of the skull, heavy, sinking into soft sand. You can even feel it tightens your lower leg. Now let it go. The shoulders. What does that feel like? Heavy. Sink. Now tighten your thighs. The floor seems soft behind your shoulders. That strong sensation of effort is easy to feel. let it go.
Let your lower back ribs relax.
The sense of release contrasts with the strong effort of tightening them the thighs,
but letting them hang
again,
like garlands.
Tighten the thighs. Feel the effort. Do you feel the body shrinks?
Your belly organs sink back.
Now let it go. And feel the body
Hips
expand.
The backs of your legs.
Now tighten your buttocks.
Your calves. Leave deep impressions in the wet sand
and let it go.
And your heels and the backs of your
hips
hands
relax,
heavy,
you may have an urge to
falling.
Lengthen your back a little bit.
Your whole front body,
and do that again,
sinks into
Squeeze
the
the buttocks
body.
together. Feel that tension and let it go.
Your face into the back brain.
Tight muscles have simply forgotten how to relax, and you're reminding them now.
Soothing,
tighten the
rhythmic
chest.
breath.
It may feel familiar,
coaxing you
let
to
it
release
go.
more.
Feel your back body spread out on the floor.
Habitual tensions can
isolate
creep
that to
back
the shoulders,
unnoticed.
Tighten the shoulders. And
take your attention to a common place where you know you hold tension.
Do that again.
Back of the neck, perhaps.
Tighten the shoulders. Feel that go right
Lower
up into
back,
your neck.
Heart. Let them
It's very
drop.
uncomfortable, but you can let it go.
And as your body
you may now
falls,
be able to roll
becoming
your shoulders
heavy,
away from your ears.
The inner
and
body,
be more relaxed
your
in your
subtle
neck.
body, is free. It's light.
And then scrunch up your face.
And radiates through your skin
and
like a
go.
gentle mist. Everything
Relax
comes to
all
this.
the expression lines.
Surrendering
from the features
form
of your face.
The flesh and bone body.
Feel your head grow heavier and heavier.
And freeing the subtle body.
And now feel your whole body.
Remain aware of a
relaxed,
sense of inner space.
Completely at peace on the floor.
Look around inside your body, and with that inner awareness, slowly begin to reopen your eyes.